Okay. Hello, guys. This is Zyberpunky over here. I'm going to be reviewing something that it has been released on Netflix, and let's try to review this documentary film. So yeah, let's get into it. So this was actually released on Netflix on May 24th. Very recently. You were still watching this. So it's named after Maria, and of course, as you can see in the synopsis, right there, it says strong Puerto Rican women forced to flee the island after Hurricane Maria had bonded like family in a FEMA hotel in the Bronx. They seek stability in their new life as forces try to pull them apart. Okay. Um, so I watched this film and I tried. I tried to get involved in the characters, to feel identified, feel what they actually felt. It was very challenging to just do that in this while watching this short film. I'm not going to be like the other critics that they just go ahead and go ahead and trash the film. I'm not going to do that in this video. I'll at least try, cause Jesus have mercy. You can see by the score, this film is not good. I have to say. This is way below average as as it is. It's not. I'll be explaining soon. But yeah, it has been creating a lot of controversies. Even filmmakers here in Puerto Rico have been talking about this. We'll get into that. We'll get into that. So first of all, okay. So first, I see some footages of the actual hurricane, rains and winds, and a little bit of the destruction. Just a bit in the beginning. I was like, first of all, I just told, "Hey, mom, let's just watch this documentary film. It's on Netflix. It's something that okay, it's something to be proud of." And she just like, okay, let's just go ahead and watch it. My nephew was here, little one, and he was falling asleep. So we both like, okay, let's while he's sleeping, let's go go ahead and watch this film on Netflix. So I think by the 15th minute, mom fell asleep too. I didn't. I just kept watching it. At least, like I told you guys, trying to at least fall in love with the film, because I always give chances. I always give things to love. I have that space to at least, even though the movie is bad, at least I have to find something good. It is very hard to just say that with this film, and that is very hard for me to just say, "Hey, is it recommendable?" I'll be telling you that later. Okay. So yes, we started watching. Mom just like, she started watching it. But then she felt too tired, fell asleep. I kept on watching, and there were some scenes. Damn, they was just so disconnected from the reality. Of course, and there's a lot of debacle here because Puerto Ricans tend to be maintained that kind of phrase and that kind of things that the government has placed in our heads. that we need to be maintained by someone bigger, with someone with a lot of money, and live by the government, dependent by the government. And that has been the most controversy controversy from this film and us Puerto Ricans, because we're not all that way. We mostly have the chance to get out from that type of stereotype and move on with our own stuff independently, trying to at least work, find another job. Got this thing again. There it goes again. And so, okay. Um, where was I? So yeah, about that. Yeah, it's the maintain word is like, hey, government give me something, and they just wait until something is brought in their hands by, for free. And not all Puerto Ricans are like that. And this is the problem of this film. It's like it's showing the world. I mean, Netflix is basically worldwide, unlike YouTube, because YouTube is wide open. But at least, Netflix is the most I'm not gonna say as most paid stream subscription, but Netflix is almost that kind of very popular streaming service in the planet. Let's just say it like that. And they're showing this kind of documentary, showing these women who are actually under the FEMA, whatever you want to call it, and they just depend on that kind of help for over 6 months, maybe 6 months. I barely remember because I just started to uncare, not care about the film by the I don't know. It was just at least 36 minutes, was it? Yeah, 30, 35 minutes, whatever. Credits is just at least 2 minutes, at least. Or maybe I don't think there was. Okay, so the whole thing about this documentary is that they're portraying us Puerto Ricans that way, which that ain't true, because that is some portion of Puerto Ricans that live of being maintained, being so dependent of the government, that they're here because we don't have a home, that we're here in New York and we're trying to live. And I totally get that. I totally felt that from the film. But at the same time, it showed more of the Bronx, New York, than the island, where you know, where the people stayed and suffer. And I'm not saying that the people from Puerto Rico that went to the States uh does not have the same story or the same pain or the same sadness. They all lived their own ways of experiencing their losses and experiencing their own things. And I'm not criticizing all those who left. I'm just saying that this film does not say that everyone who left lived like this. You get what I mean? Because I can admit that Puerto Rico it has been, you know with these kinds of mentalities, but not all of us depend on these kinds of helps. You know, I'm here at my house. This is where I passed through Hurricane Maria. This is the place that we all hit when the wind started blowing, and there was actually a leak right here. Right here. A leak. Not just one, but there was a whole freaking crack. indeed. And Jesus. And FEMA, like 2, 3 months later, they just like they went here to our house and they said, okay, we're gonna give you this, this, and that. But before that and after that happened, I went looking for a job. My sisters help a lot, not depending on the government. We went out there to look for work, for jobs, move on. The problem from this film is that these characters, they just stay in the hotel for 6 months above and they barely do something. Now, I'm not going to criticize the family because I do know uh the struggle. But here in Puerto Rico, we struggle bigger than what I've seen in this film. Not downgrading what they have passed on Bronx, but we as the ones who stayed here, we had to at least go to the gas station or to a supermarket to get some ice or to get some gas. You all remember how the long lines were those 2 or 3 weeks there. People trying to survive. But this film does not show that. This film shows these women's that they're stuck. They have their families in a hotel with basically power, water, television. They had everything over there in the Bronx. And the director just like forgot, or I just don't feel like the director actually made a fine job. Not good, just fine. And it's just because, and I'm no one to be criticizing other films because a lot of people know that my films suck. I do admit my film sucks, of course, but I do love them, and I learn from them, learn from my mistakes. But having this on Netflix, having this worldwide, this does not simply say that the Puerto Ricans are this maintained or this delusional. Because the level of delusional of these type of women, when I just saw this film, oh my gosh, how cringy were some moments. Like, even the film felt acted. There were some parts that felt so acted. I'm like, man, they kind of recreate that scene. Maybe the director was thinking of something. Hey, well, why don't you guys do something there? Uh, for filler, because there were a lot of fillers. There was just no the lack of context in this film. Just I felt so disconnected, and I did not want to feel that way. You know, I wanted to feel good about this film because it is on Netflix, and Netflix is something that even the Oscars are going in Netflix films these days. And we see this, and I'm like, man, like I know that the description said the Bronx and all that, and I do respect that, but I felt so disconnected because it showed more of New York than the island where they passed the hurricane passed, you know. The problem with this also is that the title does not match at all what it actually been shown on screen. After Maria, the first thing that comes in my mind, well, back back before I watched this film, the first thing I thought in my mind was like, wow, After Maria must be a really good documentary. It might have really cool footages that we have not seen. Those types of expectations, man, was I wrong. Man, was I hyping this thing up. Why was there acting in a document? I mean, there's document. Of course, there's documentaries that are acted, but man, this was literally acted. It's just you can tell that there's no naturality here. There was one scene that the protagonist will just see her because she also suffered bullying in the Bronx and all that. Totally get that, but and that's it. You know, there was another scene too that it was her birthday or something, and I was like, "Well, this is a really cool moment." This is something that they went through a lot, and then they try to find happiness, and you know, characters they start to cry, but at least they were in a park celebrating a birthday. I'll tell you this anecdote of mine. When I was here in Puerto Rico with no power, nothing, just cube of ice, a beach refrigerator, and some other stuff. I mostly spend my time on the roof because down here it was just hot, and I you know, just wanted to be like fresh air. Let's go upstairs, up on the roof. Uh, let's read some books. Let's talk. Let's dialogue. So one of those days, my nephew, on November, uh, it was his birthday. I think it was around early November. It was his birthday, and we celebrated his birthday on the roof with the neighbors, and it was a precious time. That type of connection, this movie lacks. You know, this movie lacks of a lot of things. It's fully disconnected with the people of Puerto Rico. Of course, you know that fine moment on the roof with birthday. We cut the cake, and I don't think there was a ice cream by that time because there was no uh freezer or anything because we'll be eating some melted ice cream, which is not good. Those tough times, even though those tough times, we try to have happiness on a roof. You get what I mean? It's those kinds of stuff that move people, that make people more identified with with the things that happen in the island. This film does not do that. Does not show that. And people went from perspective of, okay, let's just watch After Maria. What is the first thing that comes in mind? Because people are not going to read the synopsis, you know, day one or that fast. You get what I mean? Because just from the title, just say Maria. Okay, uh, maybe a story about here in the island. Uh, um, and a lot of people will be not a lot of people, but at least those people that are from this film, the one that I thought before, I was going to be identified with, but it didn't happen with this film. it sounds like I'm disappointed, but at the same time, hey, uh, at least there are other documentaries out there from before and after Maria and during Maria. And man, it's so there's a lot of critics out there. I have them there on the source, but I just don't want to read. I read it this morning, trying to look for some research of what are the other people's perspective too, because and they had the same issue with this film, and it's just not just one opinion. It's just a fact, and we cannot mix opinions and facts. Just don't get me wrong on that. Is that the fact is that this this film lacks context, and that's a fact. I don't know what this film is. For what audience is this film? Because it talks about FEMA. It talks about women that are maintained, that government gives me everything. Trump, man, I hate the Trump argument. Jesus, man, it just never mind. Okay, it's just what was this movie for? Was it for those people who left? Was it a criticism against FEMA? Was it something against the president? What is this? This is the problem. This is just I just don't feel anything. As simple as I'm saying this is just that at some point of the film, FEMA they do not answer calls because they just ended their service. Period. You have 6 months to at least move on, get out from the hotel, do something else with your life, because FEMA was a temporary help. It was nothing that it will last forever. And these characters do not portray strong Puerto Rican women. It says it right there, strong Puerto Rican woman. That does not mean anything. This film does not show strong Puerto Rican women. Usted me perdona. That is not what I saw. I'm sorry. It's just there are so many women here who were tough. And I'm not going to criticize the family. Family had their own issues. And they were open to the director because the director also said that yeah, those were the ones that they open up. They they have interesting stories, so let's just do a documentary. Let's show it to the world. It's the director's fault to just focus on this, not the family. The family was there, but the director chose to let's just tell this story. Either way, this is not strong women. This is women who are used to be maintained or depend from the government, and that is not it. That is not a Puerto Rican woman. My mom ain't like that. My grandma wasn't even like that. And I know a lot of strong women who are totally independent. They're not like this. And for you out there that saw this film and you're not a Puerto Rican and think that this is who we are, really feel so ashamed that this film is on Netflix. Hey, opinions are opinions, facts are facts. And I know that the facts that there are people that are like this, but there's also people that are not like that. Period. I live here. I know what's going on, and I know what's going on with the government. Not deeply, because they have their own issues inside over there. But we all here in Puerto Rico suffered that freaking hurricane when it struck because it felt like a freaking monster. And after that, we all have to like freaking survive. Even people with a lot of money had to struggle. Women had to struggle too in this island. So don't come here, place on the comments below. They're like, please don't attack the family. I'm not attacking the family. No. There's a lot of story to tell, and I do know that in one film you cannot cover all the stories. I know that. I know that. Just don't get into that argument. If that won't work on me, man. Okay? As a director, you show the best thing, not weak women that are depending on the government and they barely do anything for their families. For me to get a freaking signal here, I had to go to the roof to get some signal. This is why the story of the roof comes from, you know? Because I had to get some signal. I had to keep on. I have to keep on. And I kept on looking for jobs because I was not working. I literally, even my neighbors told me like, hey, I know you're without a job, but can you wash my car? I can pay you. I'm offering. I have nothing. So just go ahead and just like wash the car, clean. And I got the bucks. My girlfriend also struggled. You know, I'm gonna have to agree on my with my teacher on this one. I'm going to read an article that my teacher, Sonia Fritz, right here. This is very, very. So I'm going to read a little bit here. Let's see if I'm better than Google Translate. I don't think so, but so she states here. So this is her criticizing the film. So it says here, it seems that it is a bad example to concentrate on the arguments of Trump. Yeah. Also, we do know that okay, hold on. Let me just translate this the correct way. Yeah. She does recognize that everything that has happened, a lot of people who left, and she said, for example, Orlando, and then she also thinks that this film does a lot of damage to us Puerto Rican, in which in the general repetition of the stereotype of Puerto Ricans that, like I said, they're being so dependent, that don't work, and that they wait for everything that, give it to me. So this is her main concern, is what she states there. And what she observed and the flaws from the film, she said, is the lack of context. I agree with that. I fully agree. How could you? I'm so anxious to see her film, Las Dos Orillas, because damn, I have not had the time to apologize for that. But damn, like she also states here about that the dependency about the Puerto Ricans. This is the stereotype, and also that it hurts her in the soul that they're portraying women like this in the film. And for me too, it's just not normal to just like embarrass these type of women out there. Like the director did not think exactly what you were exactly doing. Were you showing the world that the misery of these families, that female is the bad guy, and what was your goal here? This is embarrassing. They also say there's no problematic here, no interest in fighting what they want. That's it. That's what this film lacks. There's a lot of things that this film lacks. Don't make these actors, not actors, these people act in a freaking documentary. It's embarrassing. Those parts were legitimately, I just noticed that they were acting. It's not real. You're showing me right there. That's fake. They're just acting. There was like one scene that the girl was like on her cell phone watching Netflix. I don't know what she was watching. She was like on her phone, and her I think her mom, I don't know, um she actually was cooking something on a electric stove. She was cooking some tostones and some rice with gandules or beans. I do not remember. I just remembered that here we ate with a gas stove that when the gas ran out, we need to go to the gas station again and fill it up or exchange it to another one. That is how tough it was. Yeah. There's and I know there's a lot of documentaries out there from Maria. Hurricane has screwed us over, and there's a lot of stories to tell. And I have to tell my story too, even though I did a video last year about what I actually learned from that hurricane. You can go ahead and watch that video if you had the chance. But in conclusion, I think I'm leaving a lot of things out. I paraphrase what Sonia Fritz said there. Uh, but yeah, I totally agree with Sonia. I'd rather even watch her film of after Después de María las Dos Orillas. So anxious to watch that one. I just haven't had the time to go to those kinds of places where she actually shows the film. But one of these days, teacher, one of these days. Um, so yeah, it's well, I fully recommend this. You can watch it if you want, for you to have your own thoughts and opinion, and state some facts too. But don't confuse facts with opinions, okay? A lot of people tend to do that. So after Maria, what do you think? You have watched it. I know a lot of people are freaking mad about this film. It's just this does not represent us. Not represent, man. It's just is that that lazy part of the Puerto Rican. Is that is not us. Don't even comment below. Oh, that is you guys. You got to admit that. The truth hurts. Look, man. Every country has its downside. Every country has its its bad things. Puerto Ricans have a lot of freaking bad things, and they need to change. They need to change, but they have to start with themselves. That's what I freaking did, and all my family did. We move on. We forgot about the having power. We adapt with no power. We adapt. That's what human beings are made for too. Don't forget we do adapt on things too. Adaptation is very important in life. It's not that, oh, I cannot handle this, I'm leaving. And I know a lot of people left because they already had planned to go over there. And I know people that went over there, hey man, I'm leaving on September. This was way before the hurricane story. Like, hey man, I'm leaving on September. Um we're just going to keep on doing cut podcast and yeah, just always text me and I'm just going to live there with my with that part of my family. That's what they said. The hurricane came, flights were delayed. Fortunately, that person needed to leave. I'm like, all right, man. I'm here without power, so bear with me. I don't know when the power is gonna come again. So yeah, let's just go with the flow. And I still made videos without power, just with a laptop and 4G. I did so many things without, light, without power, without electricity, better said. There's a lot of interesting stories out there that they need to be on the big screen or on Netflix. But yeah, I'm not those people who want this out of Netflix. I don't. I want other documentaries that are from this same topic on Netflix. Having the collection, some type of collection of before or after, during Maria, all those documentaries, all those movies on Netflix. That'll I feel proud of that. But yes, of course, this this documentary just had that bad taste. But yeah, guys, this is a lot of blathering. I know I have been way too much. Extend it a little bit. Yeah, this will be it. This is my honest review. Um, just keep on going forward, guys. And you know, this film does not teach any of that, and I know that. There's other films and documentaries out there, even on YouTube, that are from this natural disaster, Hurricane Maria. You can watch those and be happy with it. But always support yours. Because here in Puerto Rico, we can make films. Just gonna leave you with that. Alright, guys? Please don't forget to play, rate, comment, and subscribe. Thank you for supporting the channel. This has been Zarpunky. And I'll see you guys later.